Welcome back to Kotlin Desktop. This is Lesson 3, State and Input. Today we'll build a settings form with text fields, checkboxes, switches, and radio buttons. Here's what we're building: a settings form with name and email fields at the top. Below the text fields, a checkbox for notifications and a switch for dark mode. A radio button group lets the user pick a language: English, Spanish, or Japanese. The email field validates as you type. Let's build it step by step. Let's create our settings app from scratch, a new directory called settings app. We open nvim to write settings.gradle. This tells Gradle where to find the Compose plugin repository. The root project name is Settings App. That's all we need for settings. We generate a Gradle wrapper so everyone on the team uses the same Gradle version. Now the build file. 3 plugins: Kotlin JVM, Compose, and the Compose compiler plugin. Dependencies and the main class. Same setup as Lesson 2. Now our first Kotlin file, colors.kt. Same purple palette as last time. 6 color constants: purple for accents, gray for text, dark tones for backgrounds. Next, form state, a data class with 5 fields for our settings form. A validation function returns null or an error string. Here's our project structure. 2 Kotlin files so far. Let's build our composables. SectionLabel first, a reusable section header. SectionLabel takes a text string and styles it as a bold purple header with padding. Like stat item in Lesson 2, it keeps things small and reusable. SectionLabel done. Now form fields, 3 composables for each input section. Profile fields handles name and email. OutlinedTextField uses value and onValueChange. The email field calls validateEmail. When isError is true, the field turns red. Preference controls, checkbox and switch follow checked, onCheckedChange. Language selector uses a forEach loop. Each radio button checks if its language matches. Form fields done. Now settings form, the card shell assembling all sections. It receives state and callbacks, then calls profile fields, preference controls, language selector. 3 composables, 1 line each. Clean separation. Save button at the bottom. 6 small files, all. Last file, main.kt. This is where the state lives. Remember, with mutableStateOf creates reactive state. When it changes, compose recomposes. Material theme with dark color scheme wraps everything. Same pattern as Lesson 2. State flows down as form state.value. Events flow up through the onStateChange callback. This is state hoisting. Parent owns state, child is stateless. All 6 Kotlin files in one directory. Clean and organized. Each file under 70 lines, small and focused. Clean compile. All 6 files pass. Let's see the app in action. Here's our settings app, a dark card with all the controls we built. Let's type a name. The outlined text field updates with each keystroke. Now the email field. Typing just Alex triggers the validation error. Add at example.com and the error clears. Validation drives the UI. Toggling the notifications checkbox. Uncheck, then check again. The dark mode switch. Same checked on-checked change pattern. Radio buttons for language selection. Spanish, then Japanese. Hit save. Every control updates the same form state through state hoisting. Let's recap the 5 key things we learned today. First, OutlinedTextField. It uses value and onValueChange for two-way data binding. Second, input controls. Checkbox, switch, and RadioButton all follow the checked, onChecked change pattern. Third, state hoisting. The parent owns the state. The child receives it as parameters and fires callbacks. Fourth, data class copy. Create new state instances with specific fields changed. Fifth, validation. Pure functions return nullable error strings for clean input validation. Thanks for watching. Next lesson, we add navigation and multiple screens. Like and subscribe. Subscribe for more Kotlin desktop tutorials. See you in Lesson 4.